Now, President Trump spoke with Fox and Friends earlier this morning. Listen to what he had to say about the 2020 presidential race. Roll it.
Everybody knows that Joe Biden does not have what it takes. Okay, he doesn't have what it takes. Everybody knows.
What does that mean?
It means mental capacity. It means a lot of different things. He never did have what it takes until Obama he ran 2 or 3 times. I used to call him 1% Joe because he never got more than 1%. Then Obama came along and surprisingly took him off of, the trash heap and ran. But everybody knows Joe doesn't have it.
Well, he didn't hold back, did he? Lara Trump is with us. Trump 2020 senior advisor, daughter-in-law of the president himself. Lara, welcome back to the program.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Which candidate out of the 23 would you like to go up against most?
Oh, my gosh. There are so many good ones to choose from, Stuart. It's very hard to say.
Let me turn it around. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but let me turn it around. Which would you least prefer to go up against?
You know, honestly, no one has knocked my socks off so far. I know that's a common answer. I always say I think this president is going to easily win re-election, no matter who the Democrats run as their candidate. And it will become, I think, a little clearer after the debates we see them have in the coming weeks. But the president said he's happy to run against Joe Biden, Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders. He's happy.
Does any of them give you any pause?
No.
Any sort of, oh, wait a minute, I'm not sure about this?
No, not at all. You know what? Joe Biden obviously is their front runner right now. He had 8 years under the Obama administration to make some great changes in this country. Not a lot came out of that. In fact, our country got worse under the Obama administration. All the jobs left, everything else.
Your father-in-law is questioning his mental ability.
Well, I mean,
you think that's legit?
Maybe there's something to that. He has.
Oh, you're piling it on now.
Listen, I don't know. All I know is that whenever you have been a vice president for as long as Joe Biden has and served this country seemingly for 50 years and been in politics, and you don't have a whole lot to show for it, yet here's President Donald Trump, who has been in politics for 2.5 years and only as our president, and you see what he's been able to do. We're not nervous about Joe Biden. We're not nervous about any of them.
Not at all. Not in the slightest.
I just can't imagine how people who are doing better in this country, and most people are as a whole under this president, are going to not want to continue that. I think they're all going to go back and vote for Donald Trump. And I hear every day, even here in Manhattan, Stuart, from people, I promise you, going through, I'm waiting at crosswalks and walks, and people are saying, we love the president. Now, here in Manhattan, they keep it a little low-key.
Really?
Yes, but people who never voted for a Republican president before, who voted for Hillary Clinton the first go-round, have woken up and said, you know what? Donald Trump actually did what he said he was going to do. He's delivered on all these promises, and we want to keep this economy going.
Seriously? Do you actually walk on the streets of Manhattan?
Yeah, I walk everywhere.
Okay, and people really sort of whisper.
They do. They give me thumbs up. They tell me that they love the president. He's doing a great job. Keep up the great work. I'm telling you, you'd be shocked to see how often it happens here in New York City.
I have to go around in a baseball...
Come on with me.
I have to go around in a baseball hat and sunglasses. Yeah. Sure. Yeah, I do, actually. Yes, I do.
Well, you should come in your cognito outfit with it.
I don't have an incognito. My cognito. Look, I really want to talk to you because you went with the president to England.
Yes.
You were at Buckingham Palace.
We were.
You met the Queen.
We did. It was amazing. It was such a special trip. Never in my lifetime did I ever think I would be able to go to the palace, to meet the Queen, to be a part of something like that. And there we were.
I don't know why it suddenly got rather dark.
Am I having one of my spells?
I feel like maybe I'm doing a monologue or something.
We're okay.
No, it was incredible.
I saw the president involved in very interesting conversations with the Queen.
Yes.
It looked like they got along.
They got along great. I think she was thrilled to have him there. I think she spent a lot of time preparing beforehand. I talked to several people that work at the palace. They said that she was part of every single detail of the president's visit, really wanted to make sure things went well for the president and first lady, and we were honored.
What about the lunch? Was it a lunch or just a dinner with Prince Charles?
The banquet.
Well, I wasn't part of that.
Oh, you weren't?
I was on a flight coming over from the U.S. A commercial flight that we paid for ourselves. I'd like to point that out for everyone. Everyone thinks the taxpayers paid for us.
You went first class, I take it?
Oh, well,
up the front of the bus there. Now, wait a second. Prince Charles is an avid global warmer. He thinks the world is coming to an end.
Yes.
And he had a 90-minute conversation with your father-in-law, who is not much of a global warmer.
I'm sure they both kind of gave each other their take on things, and I'm sure it was informative for both of them. So the president's always, listen, he's always happy to hear other people's thoughts on things and really get their viewpoints. So I'm sure he was happy to talk to Prince Charles and hear what he had to say and hear his viewpoint on things.
You enjoyed meeting the Queen, didn't you?
Oh, it was amazing.
Special?
Yeah, they were all so lovely, the whole family.
Buckingham Palace is palatial.
Oh, it is. It knocked our socks off, all of us. And we're Trumps, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
How do you do that with the Trump family?
It really did. We were all blown away, but truly an honor and just so incredible to be there.
You've got to build a palace in New York City, to rival Buck House, as we call it. Lara, look, thank you very much indeed for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Again, we always appreciate when you're here.
Absolutely.
Thank you, ma'am.